Margaret Thatcher privatised our gas in 1986 and electricity in 1989. Private companies are involved in every stage of delivering our energy: generation, transmission, distribution and supply. So behind the company that you buy your energy from is a network of transmission to take energy across the country and distribution to take it to your home. The companies which own this network are private companies, mostly the National Grid, and other companies that most of us have never heard of. They're owned by investors from the US, China, Qatar and Hong Kong and many other places. These companies have a natural monopoly. We have no choice but to use them. Here are 3 reasons why we should bring them into public ownership. Research by Citizens Advice shows that these private companies have been extracting around £1 billion in profit that could have gone towards reducing our bills. Meanwhile, over 10% of English households are living in fuel poverty, so we need public ownership to reduce our bills and end this rip-off. We're facing an unprecedented global catastrophe if we don't switch to 100% renewable energy as soon as possible so that we can reduce our carbon emissions. The National Grid was designed for an age of coal, oil and nuclear, but the future of energy is decentralised and renewable. So we need huge investment in infrastructure, and that's only going to happen with public ownership. Right now, communities are lining up across the UK to connect new renewable energy projects to the grid, but the private companies are slowing them down. We need public ownership that works with communities instead of private companies working against them. We would argue that these private companies don't deserve compensation for ripping us off and failing to invest in our green energy future. But even if we did compensate shareholders for the money they've put in, buying back our energy network would pay for itself in around 8 years. That's because we'd save £3.2 billion a year on not paying out dividends to shareholders and on the lower cost of government borrowing for investment. 77% of us believe energy belongs in public ownership. It's time to take back our national grid.